Well, that's all it took. They went through all that hardship last episode, and all they needed to do is bring this man a plate of curry. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another episode of dandadan. We are now on season 1, episode 10, which is called "Have You Ever Seen a Cattle Mutilation?" I thought it said mutation. It says mutilation. Yikes. Whew. You know, the episode titles in this show, you have to be a little bit nervous because you just don't know how far they're going to go. You know what I'm saying? If there's one thing about this anime, it's that boundaries don't really exist. They really kind of go any place they want, anywhere they want. And yeah, you just have no idea what to expect, which is half the fun, but also mildly terrifying. Anyways, in the last episode, we wrapped up the first kind of interaction that Ira had with the crew as far as the whole supernatural side of her life that she now has because of the spiritual powers awakened in her. We got to see the way that acrobatic Silky works through her, and through some teamwork, dream work, they were able to finally take out this crazy amalgamation that happened between the aliens and what, I called them spirits, but I see a lot of people in my comments were like, they're not spirits, but I mean, I don't know. Her mom or Momo's grandma says that she's a spirit medium. Like, that's what I'm going to call them for now until I get another term. But anyways, point being, they managed to get everything taken care of, but we now know that the aliens are like hell-bent on getting their hands on these spiritually amplified humans because they think that that's the key to whatever it is they're trying to do, and that they work together with whatever the heck the Mantis and Nessie were. So that was some good information about the world. And then we see that they are back into the real world, but of course they they re-entered the world in a very compromising position. And now, if there was no rumors about three of them, I guess, but mainly I think out of the three, I definitely think that Momo and Okurun are going to have the most rumors surrounding them now because, yeah, let's just say they were in a compromising position that's going to be hard to explain. So I'm excited to see what we're going to jump into this episode. As I mentioned a couple of episodes ago, the other golden ball is still out there, so I feel like we're going to have to get back onto that storyline at some point. So I'm ready to jump in. Just before I do, though, if you'd like to be in the know when I drop these episodes, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. All right, out of the way, let's get into episode 10 right now. That drum beat hits every time. Who's this? Nurse? They just don't want to be seen ever again. Queen Sensei. Queen Sensei. Queen teacher. Oh! Why does she have her dominatrix whip at school? Can we talk about that? Oh. Not them engaging in some kinky play at school. Principal's office my ass. They did. True. And honestly, Ira, what are you that upset about? You just had no clothes on. That can be more explainable. Since now. That was a side effect. She can handle it. I knew it. I'm assuming they need the banana organs. That's true. But weren't they working with... Oh. Damn, you wrote a lot. Exactly what? The way both of them missed the point entirely. Okurun was the actual only person who was fully naked. And everyone probably now knows that he only has one testicle. Like, y'all really have to put in perspective. I don't think she cares. Exactly. Who cares? Those girls were idiots anyway. She's like, I didn't forget. Still a little jealous. Need a little more reassurance.
それで揉み合いになって倒れたところを偶然綾瀬さんに見られて。
It's the truth.
ほら
Tell her.
もっと強くなりたくて。
He
なん
did.
でそれを隠す必要があるわけ
Cause the man's allowed to have secrets, okay?
かっこいいかなって。
何それ受ける他にもカッコつけるとかあんだ
ありますよ。
I mean, he's
自分
human.
だって
Thank you.
綾瀬さんにはかっこいいって思われたいっす。
Be nice to him, Momo.
なんでかっこいいって思われたいの
だから男だからですよ。
Sure, sure, because there's the guy in general.
自分もう行きます。綾瀬さんを悪者みたいには言いませんから。
Thank you. You're a true gentleman, sir. Out loud. With your bass in your voice, come on. No? Oh, the hair detail.
ママ発見わかるもいいんじゃんおいびっくりしたいやそれ
It's okay. They really didn't need to say anything.
だから連絡来てビビったわ
Uh-oh.
テレビの前でオカルンと裸で抱き合ってるってどうなってんの
See, what had happened was,
なんかまあそうなっちゃったんだよ
exactly.
雑すぎませんか。
I mean, why even try?
D 組の白
What is with the lights? What's happening right now? Where did the spotlight come from, guys?
白鳥も裸だったということなんです、ね、
This is high school, though, in some way or another, truthfully.
三角関係が見えてきます
She's actually not too far off with that one. Ooh, not the colored lighting.
一人の男
Oh, Okarun, you stud.
二人が起こした逃走
Look at Momo like, damn, she's actually good at this. Wow, really? This is what we thought was happening? Nude gladiator combat?
パンチの打ち方を教わっていたからだなんだって
Got it. Nailed it.
モモがずっと言って犯人はお前だやめハイラ大丈夫
My lord. The sad part is she's only like 10% off.
我ながら自分の好感度の高さにやっぱり日頃の努力がこういう時に役に立つのね。このままこの件は消滅させてもらうわ。
You hope.
せねえな、綾瀬桃。
白鳥さんの美しさに嫉妬してんじゃないなんなのあいつ
You gonna let them do that when she saved your life multiple times? And yeah, where'd that rumor come from, huh?
あいつ懲らしめた方がよくない？
Savior of the world, my ass.
そのデマ流したの私ちょっとアイラ
Good for you. Finally, Ira.
私が悪いのだから綾瀬ももう悪く言わない
Thank you. Minimum you can do since she didn't do anything to deserve the rumor. And that kind of rumor can literally destroy a girl's life at that age. It's horrible.
何どういうこと
Guess nearly drowning got her to grow up a little bit. That's good. I love how whenever they're like sad or like feeling despondent, they always do that wavy walk. We saw Momo doing that a couple episodes back.
あんたのヘイトでいっぱいよいつも金魚の糞みたいのが一緒にいるのに
Fish turds. That's quite the visual.
どうせ言ってないんでしょ悪口言ったわよもうクソみそ言ったわなんか文句ある
Not Momo being a good reader of the people.
家族のために。
Are you serious? This thing is still around? How? How?
まだおいでになる。
Wow, that transformation was quick. Okay. Ira's got some skills.
大丈夫？
You're asking if it's okay? Seriously? Momo is literally too nice.
ごめんよ。
Oh, so we're going into its memory? What is happening? Although we did see the aliens can use their instruments to augment these things.
てるけどまた襲ってくるかもしれないわよやめとけよこっちにはばあちゃんいんだ
Right? It's like I feel stronger with grandma here. Oh, food.
食わなくてもいいけど
He's like, you're not gonna slash my salary?
もう二度と。あらだだだ。
Well, that's all it took. They went through all that hardship last episode, and all they needed to do is bring this man a plate of curry. That ain't okay. I mean, it is a bit cannibalistic, isn't it? You being a crab and all.
てめえ客だろうがガリでも食ってろ客ならもてなせ
Isn't dinner supposed to be a peaceful time?
体内の血液が尿や便で出てしまって毎日新しく血を取り込まないと死んだ
That's a serious injury, sir.
妻もこれと同じ病気で亡くなりまし
I
た
feel like it's over for you, respectfully.
皆さんが言うところの貨幣ですたくさんの貨幣が必要
Oh,
なん
you
です
need money. Got it. Salary. Gig worker.
それかやボディーガードのような仕事があります
What is with this at?
アウトローで危険な仕事しかないんです
Okurun's like, this is not at all the way I imagined.
辛い思いをさせています情けない情けないで
The little tentacle eyes dripping. I can't.
どうすればあなたを救えますか？
No.
自分の一物があれば息子さん救えますか？
Huh?
要はこの人がお金を受け取れればいいんですよ。その後に一物は取り返しに行けば。
Are you sure?
毎日血を取り込まなきゃいけない治療ならさ
Yeah.
一回こっきりの金もらったって意味なくない
Exactly. From the sounds of things, they need a cure.
困ってるって聞いちゃったんだから、聞かなかったことにはできないですよ。力になりたいんです。
Okay, but maybe don't offer up your body parts, please.
高倉くんがこの人のために何かしてあげようって時にサポートできないような女じゃパートナーとは
I
言
mean,
えない
Ari does have a point.
綾瀬桃さんの言う通りです私がまっとうに働くしか
I would say it's either a cure or a regular source of income.
とても嬉しいです
He hates hearing that name.
長居をしてすいませんです本当にありがとう
Are you gonna keep the PJs or? Oh,
その血のついた包帯から懐かしい匂いがするぜ
how so? Intense milk, unaltered milk. Not milk.
これは
Blood.
同じです私たちの血と同じです
Y'all have milk blood?
でも少し薄いです
Oh, so you need a high percentage?
知り合いの酪農家に頼んで牛一頭おめえにくれてやるまあ
Will the cow survive on his world? Well, can they feed it? Sir, you can't afford. No, stop crying. You can't afford the liquids. Intense milk. Bye, cow. I hope it can survive. And listen, alien allies is a good idea against the weirdos. Bring more of your fighter friends in that case, please. It's a cow mutilation. Are you okay? You don't think you can drive that thing. Not warp speed in our faces. That's cool. It's a cool effect. Take that, Star Trek.
わしは何回てめえらの制服買えばいいんだ
It really wasn't Okurun's fault this time, though.
金がねこういう時は大人の財力を利用するのが一番だぜ
Exploit?
これ3回目です。
Yeah.
ちょっと、なんで
Damn.
うちは入ってないんでございますか？
てめえの目が気に入らない
She said, I already know
利
you.
用しようって
Exactly. Why would you even say your plan in front of her?
叫んじゃねえ。そんなこと絶対やらねえ
All
から
right,
な。
then go to school naked. Aw, he's so cute.
おいモモお前出ろモノマネやり続けろ
Damn,
よ
Grandma's making you work for it.
こっちから監視してるからなやめるなよ
Not Krugs.
どうも。天神パラです。モモ。
Who's this?
シシ
Who's this?
あいつはなモモの幼馴染で
Oh. Someone for him to feel a little jealous for once.
初恋相手だ
The love square begins. No, I'm happy about it, guys, because it was going to have to be poor Momo having to deal with that airhead fumbling all over Okurun. Well, now Okurun's going to know what it's like to have, just a reminder that Momo's got options too, okay? Okurun, she cute. Okay, like he said, she's kawaii. She can get herself a man if she wants. She just happens to like your dorky self, okay? Oh my gosh, this was cute. This was a nice, again, kind of a lower temperature, lower gauge episode after having as much as we had going on in the last couple of episodes with this alien slash spirit slash whatever was going on. But it looks like they were all aliens actually in the last episode. I thought that because of the alternate dimension that we saw, that we were back into the yokai world, but that's not the case. It turns out they were all aliens, and I guess it is more what the aliens are capable of doing, or these different aliens, I guess, are able to do different things depending on where they're from. That's what I'm assuming at this point. I could be wrong. But yeah, we see that, as I said last episode, if it were me, I'm transferring. I'd be like, I'm not going back to that school ever. That is the long and the short of it. Grandma, write up the transfer papers. I'm not going back. I mean, she should understand that considering what happened to them, it wasn't something that they could avoid, right? They got dragged into this situation. So please help me out, Grandma. Transfer me schools. I am never going back there. I don't know what's going on with Okurun though, because as I've mentioned since episode like 2, I think, we haven't heard anything about his family. Like we already know that Ira has no mom and that her dad is the one who's taking care of her. Oh, I say no mom as in her mother's passed, but maybe she's got her mom, maybe her dad remarried. I don't know. But point is, we know a little bit about her family situation. We know nothing about Okurun's thus far, which I think is probably on purpose. I mean, not that I'm thinking it's a big point of this show at this point, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like we shouldn't hear something like the fact that Okurun has sometimes been missing for a full 24 hours and like no one's looking for him, no one's asking for him. We never see him saying, oh, can I call my mom? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I think he's got a home, but what's going on there? Why is he not being missed? That's what I'm kind of curious about. And he also doesn't talk about his family, right? In the first episode, we heard all about Momo's background. We know she was raised by her grandmother. We still have no idea what happened to her parents though, which I do believe is probably going to come out again at some point where it makes sense. But interesting that we still know nothing about Okurun's family life. But anyhow, coming back, I said, like, they are now living with the aftermath of the school wondering why the heck the three of them were undressed. And, well, like I said, my poor guy Okurun completely butt naked and the most, and again, I feel like I understand where Ira's coming from and that obviously it's embarrassing for people to see in your underwear regardless. And again, why would you be in your underwear in the middle of the hallway in school? Makes no sense. But honestly, Momo and Okurun, I think, have it far worse. I mean, my man, butt ass naked, my girl in her underwear, laying in what, if no one understood it, a very compromising position in the middle of the hallway, right? Like there's just there's no getting around that. There's no way that doesn't look super sus outside of saying you were doing something that they clearly weren't doing. So, I mean, the fact that they didn't get suspended is honestly the miracle here, but we see that we were introduced to another character there of Queen Sensei, the school nurse, and yeah, heavy dominatrix vibes. Not sure what's going on there, but like I said, this show loves to dance the lines of propriety all the time. But anyhow, we met her. She thought that maybe they were being bullied. So I'm glad at least it wasn't the assumption that, you know, especially with Momo and Okurun, that maybe more was happening and like something super inappropriate was happening in class or in school. But anyway, we tell, you know, of course they're just like, nope, nothing happened. We don't want to talk about it. Like, let's just hope this all boils over in 5 minutes or the next scandal comes along. But I feel like the school's never going to let them live this down. Let's be real. But anyways, we see that everyone separates because we know that Ira is kind of part of the popular kids, whereas Momo's kind of, she's got her little group of friends, and then Okurun was a complete loner. So, you know, Okurun's like, I'm not really that worried for myself because, you know, no one really knows me or cares about me. He's like, I'm more worried about you, Momo. And again, Ira basically pointed out that she's like, well, you're the one who told me to take my clothes off, so I think this is your fault, Momo. And Momo was kind of like, and she's like, all right, yeah, I guess technically I am the one who told us to strip down, so I guess I'll take that, like, whatever. But what I love about Momo is that she genuinely doesn't care in the sense of like, she doesn't care if people think she's the mean girl or the bad girl, so to speak, right? She just doesn't want like the other types of rumors to go around, which makes sense. As I said before, I was gonna say they dance around it, but they've been pretty, if we look back to episode 1, they don't necessarily dodge from more adult topics. But my point being, this is Japan, right? And it's still a very conservative society about when it comes to a lot of things. And even now, even if you're not in Japan, you know, girls, we always have to worry about perception. And in a society like theirs, a reputation already, we saw that Ira started the rumor a couple episodes back that Momo was sleeping around, which she wasn't. And so you have that coupled with this, you get what I'm saying? Like, this could really ruin a girl's reputation. It could make life very difficult for her, and it could open doors for a lot of things to happen to her that shouldn't be happening. So that's more what Momo is worried about, is that people will think that there's something going on there that isn't, than so much that people think that she's a weirdo or whatever, right? Like, she doesn't care about that. So I love that about Momo, though. She's very self-actuated, and a lot of that probably has to do with the fact that, you know, that story we heard back in episode 1 about how, you know, she got teased since she was a kid because her mom, or because of what her grandmother does. So I think that helped Momo to develop a good sense of herself and not allowing herself to be easily swayed by what other people think. But anyways, we see that they're all worried about that, and Ira's friends come and take her away, and then Momo's friends show up, and we have that really cute, well, actually right before Momo's friends show up, a super cute little moment with my ship, you know, when finally they get to the bottom of it, because obviously it was bothering Momo. Despite all of her protestations, it was very clear that she's jealous. She's never going to say that, of course, but she needs to get the true tea, because she needs to know what's going on. And thankfully we see they finally talk it out calmly, and Okuren tells her everything, like, no, like, nothing happened. She came on to me, bruh. Like, you walked in at just bad timing, but literally nothing happened. Like, I was trying to explain that to you. And then of course she's like, well, why were you there? Like, how'd this even happen? And it comes out that he's working on getting stronger so that he can, you know, look cool to her. You know, of course he said overall, you know, just because he's a guy, but we know as an audience it's because he actually cares about what Momo thinks of him now. And so just a really cute moment, because of course she's touched. And I just kind of like that Momo, like, she teases him, but like not always in like her teasing of him is not malicious, if that makes sense. Like, she's not trying to be mean. It's more of like, you know, cute pokey fun. And I mean, in the first couple of episodes it was definitely more like a fraternal kind of poke, but now, you know, that she's definitely got a crush, it's just kind of, it's cute. I like their dynamic, I guess is my point, is that she's just kind of, she tried not to make it too weird for him, but at the same time she was clearly impressed and touched that he cares about what she thinks. And so you see that they have a little moment where something should have been said, but they like didn't know what to say. And then of course we see that her friends come in and kind of break the moment. But I really love that her friend does this whole theatrical thing about like what happened, like, I'm gonna sleuth out what happened and why you two ended up in the way that you did. And I love that again, it shows that her friends know her well, in the fact that neither of them thought that anything actually happened. They were just kind of like, but what, like, how did it happen? Just explain what got you to that position. And Momo was like, it's just, you wouldn't believe me if I told you, girl, just know, like, stuff went down and that's why we ended up. So anyways, I do love that Momo's friends know her well enough to know that there was nothing going down. But it was cute how they basically sleuthed out the fact that there is in fact a love triangle going on, just not to the extent that they think at this point. But they figured out that Okuren is definitely the object of two ladies' affection. So lucky Okuren, right? So that basically is what happened with school. And we saw on the Ira side of things, her friends were asking her what happened, and of course Ira's playing it up and saying that, oh, you know, some stuff happened. Same thing, basically. She's not giving specifics, but just saying, you know, some weird stuff happened and she's just trying to get past it, and playing into the whole, you know, pretty girl tears situation. And it's working to an extent until her friends say, oh no, it must be Momo. Like, Momo's weird, she's a bully. You know, they start that whole narrative, which of course Ira started. So in fairness, we know where they got some of it from. And they're prepared to get the narrative started that this is all Momo's fault. And they're basically like, ooh, we're going to basically let Momo have it. And, you know, 3-4 episodes ago, Ira probably would have sat back and let it happen, but thankfully her experiences now with these two, but particularly with Momo, like, even though her and Momo clearly don't necessarily get along, she knows that Momo's a good girl. Like, now she knows, whether she wants to admit it or not, Momo has saved her life multiple times. She's never been like mean to her. Like, has she been rude? Yes. But has she been mean to her? No. And it's very clear that the way Momo acts, that she doesn't have any ill will towards Ira at all. Like, Ira knows why she got the pan to the head, right? She got the bathtub to the head because she was being mean to Okuren. And she knows she was. So that's why she isn't really like even that mad about that anymore. But anyways, I'm glad that her conscience finally kicked her enough to be like, I can't let this is going to spin out of control if I don't stop it now. So I'm proud of Ira for that she stood up and said, nah, like, leave Momo out of it. It's not her. Like, you know, just, it ain't worth it. Don't do it. So we see that later on, Momo and her end up chatting about it, and Momo was kind of like, have the sneaking suspicion you didn't badmouth me. And of course, Ira tries to act like that's not the case. But again, Momo's got a really good gut when it comes to people. That's one of her strong suits we've noticed, is that she's very empathetic, right? Even if it's towards the yokais or anything. Like we saw it with Turbo Granny, right? Like she's someone who empathizes first, even though she has no reason to. And typically we don't see that with teenagers much, right? Most of the time, teenagers, that's just a phase in our lives and we tend to be very self-involved. So the fact that she's like this is a really nice trait, and obviously I think is going to be very beneficial to her in the long run. But anyway, we see that her empathy lets her know that despite the fact that Ira is doing a lot of this, that she's like, if you're out here sitting by yourself when all your popular friends are inside, then you probably aren't letting them badmouth me. So, that's kind of Momo's way of saying thanks for not making my life worse kind of situation. But anyways, we see then that the Chiquita guy ends up showing up again. And I'm like, damn, I thought he was killed. But we see that that's not the case. I guess when Okurun ran through him, or ran through the amalgamation last episode, they must have broken them apart again. That's my guess. Because I thought that all of the amalgamated parks got destroyed, but clearly not. He just got beaten up real bad. And again, like, he passes out, and this is, again, a perfect moment. Momo could have just finished it, right? She could have been like, okay, yeah, alien, take it out. But that empathy comes out again, and Momo's like, I don't think we should kill it. Let's take it home, and let me take it home and take it to my grandma and see if we can figure out what's happening. And they do, and that's when they figure out that it's in fact another alien. And grandma, of course, still is saying, nah, I don't think it's an alien. I think it's a yappa or a kappa. She called it a kappa, which I don't know if we've heard that term before. Maybe I just missed it. But anyways, I guess she thinks it's just a different type of creature that lives within the spirit world. And in talking to this alien, they discover that there's obviously multiple planets out there and that he happens to be from one of them. And the reason he's there working with these pervert aliens is because he needs currency. Very interesting that they kept bleeping out certain words. And again, I don't know if that's because eventually we're going to find out, or if it's just their way of kind of showing that if it was an alien from another planet, they would have words that wouldn't be in our language, which is very real. I don't know. But either way, he describes the fact that he needs to be able to pay for his child who is sick back on his planet, and his illness makes it so that he has to have a blood replenishment daily, which is crazy. And he just said there's not enough money in where he lives. He can't make enough money to keep up with his son's medical needs, so he took this job, which is not the best job, but it's the only kind he could find with his skill set in order to be able to save his son. And so he's like, I don't want to hurt you. I won't hurt you anymore because you helped me, but that's why we're here, and that's why you will see some of us working with the perv aliens. And so hearing that, we know that Okurun from episode 1 and 2, that, he's very obsessed with aliens and he loves the idea of them. And I think that in his mind, this is more what he was thinking of when he thought of aliens, right? The first set of aliens, not the kind of aliens he wanted to contact or be friends with. But this one is much more to, I think, what his imagination told him an alien experience would be like. So anyways, he was like, oh, I want to help you then. Like, I feel like we should do something. And he ends up offering up his banana. And I'm like, sir, you just got that. You walked around without it for 3 episodes and now you're offering it to people? Like, sir, you still are missing a part of the family. The trio's not back together yet. Anyway, bless him. I mean, again, it shows, I'm loving how they're showing kind of the parallels between Momo and Okurun as far as their character traits. And it's becoming more and more clear to me anyways, why they're soulmates, right? They're very much both people who don't like to stand back and let things happen to people. But anyways, he offers his help to try to like fight and, make some money. But we see that Momo rightfully says, like, that's not a long-term solution though. Like, you're wanting to help him, that's beautiful, but this is not a long-term solution. Like, that money's going to run out and he's going to have to come out and do another dangerous job again. So we need a more permanent solution, or something that's a better overall solution. And thankfully, Grandma has got her thinking cap on, and she figures out that the blood of these aliens is equivalent to cow's milk here on Earth. So she's like, we'll just send him back a cow, right? If we give them a cow, the cow will keep producing milk until, it passes. I mean, cows don't live forever, but all the same, that's going to be at least years of him being able to give his son what his son needs until, he needs to buy more money or get more money, or he'll be able to work a better job or whatever. So anyways, that's how they end up solving that situation. And this alien said that, because of that, as far as he's concerned, they are squad, they're fam. and if they ever need help in the future, he'll be there if he can. So as I said in the episode, this could be a good thing because we know that the weird pervert aliens are definitely going to come back at some point. So at least if they now have aliens or allies that are also aliens, I think that will end up, you know, playing a part potentially down the road. But yeah, I know we also found out with Okurun kind of geeking out at the beginning of the episode that he believes that the reason why the aliens haven't just full on invaded Earth at this point and just taken over is because the yokai are something that they can't fight, and they don't know why they can't fight them. And that's one of the reasons they keep experimenting on humans to figure out how humans are able to coexist with the yokai and survive, right? So anyways, good to know. These are giving little seeds, you know, as far as what this world is like and some of the things that might become plot points later on. And we see that, yeah, that's how the whole alien thing got wrapped up. The boxer alien is now on his way back to his planet. And then we see at the end of the episode, and hilariously, I didn't even think of that at the end of the episode when the grandmother was trolling the kids about needing new uniforms. I forgot that this is now 2 uniforms that Momo's been through. Yeah, it's been 2 for Momo. Yeah, 2, because episode 1, the aliens ripped her uniform, and then again she had to, in this episode, she had to take all of her clothes off and they're left in the other dimension. And then for Okurun, this is 3? Yeah, this is his 3rd time, I think, that he had his clothes. Because every time he transforms, his uniform gets messed up. So anyways, hilarious. I was like, I didn't even think about the fact that they're going through uniforms, and uniforms aren't cheap. For the most part, uniforms are actually pretty pricey. So grandma understandably like, how many times are we gonna have to replace y'all's clothes? And I don't know why Ira's there. Like, Ira, you go to your dad. Like, this is your first time around. Tell your dad you lost your uniform. He can afford it. But anyway. So anyways, we see at the end of the episode that someone, Gigi? Was that his name? Arrived, and he looks tall and handsome, and Momo was clearly very surprised to see him. And grandma said that this was someone that was a childhood friend of Momo's, and then of course she had to casually drop that it's her first love as well. So Okurun is understandably feeling a bit nervous because we know that he thinks he's got a lot of growing to do as far as coolness to be in Momo's radar. And this guy, like we saw, he's significantly taller than Momo, and you know, he's got the face that looks like he's probably considered quite attractive. So all that to say that I think we're going to see Okurun finally in his feelings a little bit. But as I said, I'm not mad at it because my girl Momo's got to deal with Ira simping over him 24/7. It's about time maybe that Okurun have a little bit of a taste of that medicine of know what it's like to have someone sniffing after his girl potentially. Although we don't know if this guy's actually into Momo. Like we know that Momo liked him, but was it a one-sided crush? I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. But I'm trying to think. He doesn't look like the guy from the intro, so I don't think he's the guy with the other golden ball. But as I said, I think that's still an outstanding storyline branch for us to continue on because Okurun is still operating with only one. And again, outside of the general issue with that, we know now that that is covered in spiritual energy. So whoever's finding it could potentially be running amok the same way that Ira almost did. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what's going to lead us on the path to getting that back as well. But yeah, another fun episode. I enjoy this show a lot. It always makes me laugh. And thankfully it was not nearly as scary as I thought it could have been. So I appreciate that. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love and I will see you in the next one.